Have you ever wondered what extraordinary changes could unfold if you trusted without hesitation in the invisible forces guiding your life? Every moment holds the potential for miracles, but only when we release doubt and truly believe in the supportive energy of the universe do these wonders become visible. This book invites you to master a daily routine of thankfulness, opening the door to unwavering confidence and trust in the universe's plan. Get ready to embark on a transformative journey, one where gratitude is your compass and trust brings miracles within reach. Trusting brings miracles. Build confidence in the universe. Written and published by Intentional Prosperity. Chapter 1. The Foundation of Trust. Have you ever wondered what it would feel like to step into each day certain that you are being supported by forces greater than yourself? Imagine for a moment a life where you are guided, not hindered by your own beliefs, where trust is not just a distant desire but a concrete force that shapes your actions and colors your perceptions. This is not just a comforting fantasy, it is entirely within your reach. But for most people, waking up filled with certainty and faith does not come naturally. Instead, daily life is often overshadowed by doubt, hesitation, and a pervasive sense of needing to control every outcome. These feelings are more common than you might think, and they easily creep into even the most optimistic minds. Perhaps you recognize the sensation, the flutter in your stomach when you consider taking a new step, or the worry that if you let go just a little, you'll suddenly lose your grip on everything that matters. Life, especially in these unpredictable times, has a way of shaking our trust to its very roots. Maybe there has been a chain of disappointments, or those moments when you put your faith in something or someone, only to watch your hopes unravel. After enough of these experiences, it becomes easier to live guarded, closing yourself off to potential pain while also closing the door on possibility. Trusting feels dangerous, too vague and unreliable, too easy to dismiss as wishful thinking. Instead, you might find yourself chasing guarantees, needing certainty before you will dare to act, to love, or even to hope. This endless quest for certainty, however, can be exhausting. It turns life into a series of anxiety-driven calculations and persistent tension, leaving little room for joy or peace. When every decision is weighed down by the fear of what might go wrong, you can lose touch with the intuitive sense that something larger is at play, something benevolent, supportive, and wise. Yet what if there was another way to approach life? A way to transform these burdensome weights into stepping stones for growth. The foundation of trust begins with an intentional shift in thinking, a decision to release the illusion of total control and invite a sense of partnership with the universe. This doesn't mean becoming passive or ignoring your role in your journeys. Instead, it involves developing a steady, deep connection with something much greater, something that holds all of your dreams, plans, and setbacks with wisdom beyond your own. What if, at the heart of your daily experience, you could embrace the possibility that the universe itself is friendly, abundant, and eager to respond to your openness and gratitude? The core idea is simple yet radically transformative. When you choose to adopt trust as a guiding principle, you unlock a sense of peace and empowerment unlike anything anxiety or over-control can offer. Trusting deeply does not erase challenges, but it turns them into opportunities for inner growth and calm. You become better equipped to handle uncertainty, to respond rather than react, and to move forward with confidence even when every answer is not yet revealed. By building the foundation of trust, you allow yourself to see evidence of support all around you. Doors begin to open, guidance appears in unexpected places, and gratitude grows on even the harshest days. This is where your journey begins, with a single step toward trusting that what lies ahead is not meant to harm, but to help you blossom in ways you may never have imagined. To start building the foundation of trust in your own life, begin with a simple daily practice. Carve out a few quiet moments each morning or evening to acknowledge aloud the ways in which you have already been supported. Even on challenging days, try to identify at least one small thing. A smile from a stranger, a stroke of good weather, a timely piece of advice that reminds you help is never as far away as it sometimes seems. When you commit to observing these moments and express sincere gratitude for them, you start training your mind to focus on abundance, rather than what's lacking. In practical terms, this could mean keeping a gratitude journal by your bedside, or simply pausing before bed to reflect on something for which you are thankful from the day. Over time, these modest rituals help to quiet the fear and doubt that often cloud your thinking, making space for trust to quietly grow. Consider the example of Maya, who always felt she had to carry the weight of the world on her shoulders. She was constantly worried about the unknown, feeling responsible for orchestrating every tiny detail in her life and the lives of those she loved. The more she tried to control, the more anxious and disconnected she became. One evening, exhausted by her racing thoughts, Maya started a habit of listing 3 things she trusted would turn out well the next day. Sometimes she would write that she trusted she'd have the energy she needed, or that a difficult meeting would reveal a hidden blessing. At first, this exercise felt artificial, as if she was tricking herself. But as she repeated it, she noticed subtle shifts, greater ease in her relationships, a lightened mood, and even small coincidences that seemed to suggest she was not as alone as she had believed. The smallest move towards trust made the biggest difference, and Maya experienced a quiet unfolding, a steady sense of support that allowed her to breathe more deeply and live more confidently. When you begin to approach your day with an open expectation that good things are not only possible but likely, your energy shifts. You become less tense and more receptive, noticing signs of guidance or unexpected sources of help. Trusting allows you to relax your relentless need for proof and perfection. You are able to act from a place of calm clarity, making wiser decisions and feeling content even when everything is not tied up in a neat bow. Life does not have to be an endless uphill battle. With trust as your foundation, you cultivate resilience and hope, becoming more buoyant in the face of setbacks and far more likely to attract positive outcomes. As you wrap up this chapter, take some time today to try a short exercise. Close your eyes, take a gentle breath, and ask yourself where in your life you most need to trust. Then write down one supportive thought for that area and carry this intention with you as a touchstone throughout your day. Trust is not a one-time declaration. It is a practice, a series of small daily gestures that collectively transform how you see the world and yourself. Let these practices be your first steps toward a more profound sense of connection and assurance. The journey of trust is just beginning. In the next chapter, you'll discover how releasing fear and the urge to control can become a turning point, unlocking greater peace and spiritual growth. You won't want to miss it, so be sure to stay connected to Intentional Prosperity for more insights and exercises. Your thoughts and suggestions are always welcome in the comments as you shape your own journey in trust. Chapter 2: Releasing Fear and Control. Can you imagine how different your life would feel if you woke up tomorrow and your mind was free from the constant grip of fear and the need to be in control? Many of us carry hidden anxieties tucked beneath our daily thoughts, questions about what tomorrow might bring, worries that something important will slip through the cracks if we don't hold everything tightly in our hands. It's almost as if we have become so accustomed to tension that we mistake it for responsibility or even love. Control feels safe, and yet clinging too tightly only exhausts us, slowly shutting out the simplicity of joy and possibility. So many people struggle every day with the burden of trying to predict and influence every outcome. Perhaps you recognize it in yourself: the hesitation before making a decision, the mental battles of playing out every scenario to avoid disappointment, or the pressure to look ahead for all the possible dangers along the path. Life becomes heavy when you are constantly trying to shield yourself and others from pain or loss, and even small setbacks can feel overwhelming. This undercurrent of fear often fuels self-doubt, planting worries that you're not prepared enough or that you are destined to fail unless you control every moving part. Maybe you notice this in the way you hesitate to trust others, or in your difficulty letting go of plans that suddenly change, or in the restless sleep that follows days spent constantly watching for pitfalls. Fear dries up your optimism and makes you forget that life was never meant to be lived in a cage of imagined catastrophe. What if there were a new, liberating approach? The path of releasing fear and control begins with a gentle but powerful realization. It is not your job to manage the universe, only to move through it with awareness and trust. Rather than fighting against every uncertainty or obstacle, you can choose to recognize your limitations and open yourself to unexpected help, guidance, and grace. This is not about abandoning responsibility or ignoring real risks. It's about accepting that your power is greatest when balanced with surrender. Acknowledging that much is outside your control becomes a source of peace, not panic. The transformative shift here is learning to see uncertainty not as a threat, but as a doorway to new growth and serendipity. By letting go of fear and the urge to control, you unleash profound changes within yourself. Stress softens, and suddenly you breathe more easily and see new possibilities for happiness. Instead of shrinking your world through worry, you expand it through curiosity and courage. You become available for deeper connections because your energy is no longer trapped in constant self-protection. When control loses its grip, you have more room for surprise, creativity, and even joy in life's mysteries. This new outlook almost acts as a magnet for positive experiences, as you greet the unknown with resilience rather than resistance. It's a lifelong skill that leaves you lighter, more buoyant, and ready for the wonders that unfold when fear no longer rules your choices. Begin your journey of releasing fear and control with the mindful practice of awareness. Notice when your thoughts are clouded by anxiety or when your actions stem from the urge to grip every outcome. You can start this process by pausing throughout your day, especially during moments where you find yourself feeling tense or overwhelmed by difficult decisions. Take a deep, measured breath and gently name the fear that is present. For instance, if you catch yourself worrying about a work project or a relationship, you could say to yourself, "I notice I am afraid that I might fail," or "I sense my fear of not being accepted." Simply giving your fear a name helps to lessen its hold. What is named can be managed, while what is ignored grows in the darkness of your mind. With this growing awareness, challenge yourself to let go of one small point of control each day. If, for example, you are someone who double-checks every detail at work or at home, consider trusting a trusted partner or colleague with a simple task, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. Observe how letting go shifts both your mindset and your energy. Most people discover a surprising sense of relief, and often the outcome is just as good, if not better, than if they had managed it themselves. Picture Alex, who always insisted on setting the exact plan for weekend outings with friends to prevent disappointment. When Alex started inviting others to choose the restaurants and activities instead, not only did stress fade, but a sense of excitement and camaraderie grew. Some outings even turned into new favorite traditions. Relinquishing control made more room for laughter and genuine connection. As a further step, practice a simple ritual at the end of each day, in which you reflect on 3 things that worked out without your intervention. As you identify these positive instances, acknowledge internally that the world continues to turn smoothly, even in places where your direct influence was absent. Over time, this practice strengthens the belief that there is support around you, whether from loved ones, unseen forces, or simply the natural harmony that exists within life itself. This subtle but powerful realization brings a new lightness to your daily experience. Rather than feeling weighed down by constant vigilance, you develop faith and patience. Your confidence naturally grows, freeing you to try new things without being shackled by the fear of what could go wrong. The benefits of these practices soon build upon each other. You will likely notice a reduction in stress, clearer thinking, and a new agility to embrace change when it comes unexpectedly. Relationships deepen as you let others contribute, mistakes become learning opportunities instead of looming disasters, and your days flow with an underlying sense of calm. Letting go becomes a joyful pursuit rather than a dreaded necessity. Today, try a short exercise. Identify an aspect of your life that is dominated by worry or control. Choose a single small element of that situation to release, whether it's pausing before sending a reminder email, trusting someone else to handle a minor errand, or simply saying yes to a spontaneous invitation despite your hesitation. Then, at the end of your day, reflect on how this choice felt and what unfolded as a result. Remember, transformation is not about grand gestures, but a series of patient, loving steps. In the next chapter, we will explore how embracing divine timing can open doors and ease the struggle to force outcomes on your own schedule. Keep your momentum going by staying connected to intentional prosperity. Your insights and personal reflections are truly valued. Share your stories and ideas to help our community grow together. Chapter 3: Opening to Divine Timing. What if every delay and unexpected twist in your path was not a setback, but instead a perfect piece of a larger puzzle designed uniquely for you? Close your eyes and picture the weight rolling off your shoulders as you trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should, even if you can't always see the reason in the moment. This promise, known as divine timing, invites you to see the ordinary events and unexpected pauses in your life through a lens of trust rather than frustration. Imagine how your days might change if you stopped fighting against what you perceive as being too slow or off course, and began to accept the rhythms of the universe as trustworthy and wise. Many people find that waiting is one of the hardest spiritual lessons to accept. We are conditioned to equate progress with speed, efficiency, and relentless action. Delays quickly bring up feelings of inadequacy or pressure, and when a hoped-for event takes longer than expected, whether it's a job offer, a relationship, or a creative breakthrough, it feels as if something important is being withheld or even lost. Maybe you know that restlessness, counting down the days until you finally see results, only to be met with silence or detours. You wonder if you missed some secret, fell out of step, or just weren't good enough for things to turn out on your terms. The frustration grows heavier when you watch others achieve what you've longed for, seemingly with ease, making it tempting to question your own path and timing. The transformative solution lies in learning to open yourself to the wisdom of divine timing. Divine timing is the principle that life's events, seasons, and breakthroughs are orchestrated for your highest good, often unfolding in ways that your logic can't predict or control. Instead of resisting delays or pushing against the unknown, you are invited to soften your expectations and become receptive to the unique pace set just for you. This surrender is not about giving up or sitting idly by. Instead, it's an active letting go of the belief that you should be somewhere else, faster or sooner. By practicing presence and patience, you make space for guidance to reveal itself, not a moment too late or too early, but precisely when it's needed most. Embracing divine timing brings a profound sense of relief and possibility. When you stop fighting the pace of your life, you begin to notice the hidden gifts embedded in each pause and the lessons offered in each moment of waiting. Doors may close, but others will undoubtedly open, ones you could not have foreseen on your own timeline. This outlook cultivates deeper peace, genuine gratitude, and an ability to find purpose, even in the waiting. With this gentle trust, you become more aligned with the flow of the universe, allowing life to support you in ways you never thought possible, and instilling confidence that you are exactly where you are meant to be right now. To welcome divine timing into your daily experience, begin by practicing mindful presence any time impatience or frustration rises up in you. In moments when it feels as if life is standing still or moving too slowly, pause. Take 3 deep breaths and gently shift your attention from what is missing or delayed to what is available right now. Notice what is going well, what small comforts or surprises the present moment holds, and allow yourself to fully experience them without judgment. This simple act breaks the habit of anxiously projecting into the future, opening your awareness to the wisdom hidden in the present. Try to set an intention each morning by affirming to yourself, "I trust everything is unfolding in its perfect time." If an area of your life is causing anxiety because it's not moving forward as planned, use this intention as your anchor throughout the day. You might keep a visible reminder on a sticky note or jot it in your phone's notes. As you repeat this affirmation, you'll notice your mind gradually softening toward uncertainty, making space for trust to take root where tension once ruled. This conscious shift in your daily narrative strengthens your inner peace and allows gratitude for the now to flourish. Let's look at an example. Lily spent months anxiously waiting for a promotion. She watched her peers advance, felt herself growing more discouraged with every passing week, and became frustrated, convinced she was being overlooked. After adopting the practice of mindful presence, Lily shifted her attention each time she felt impatient. She started focusing on how these additional months allowed her to master new skills, deepen her relationships at work, and clarify what she truly wanted in her career. When her promotion eventually arrived, she realized that this time had perfectly prepared her for the responsibilities ahead. The waiting, in hindsight, was not wasted. It was purposeful and empowering. By actively releasing the expectation that everything should align instantly, you set yourself free from the anxiety that often clouds your thoughts and blocks inspiration. Life feels less like a race against time and more like an unfolding process in which each stage is meaningful. Your ability to savor small joys improves, and you become more resilient when things move at an unexpected pace. You start to trust new doors will open when you are genuinely ready. This confidence seeps into your relationships, your work, and even your creative pursuits, allowing you to experience less frustration and more fulfillment, regardless of how quickly events progress. Today, practice inviting divine timing into just one area of your life that feels pressured or stagnant. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and repeat your trust affirmation 3 times, slowly letting go of the urge to predict or force outcomes. As the day unfolds, pay attention to the subtle ways ease, guidance, or reassurance may appear. Sometimes a path lights up not through grand signs, but through the quiet reassurance that you are on course, even when growth is hidden from view. Looking ahead as you embrace the peace of divine timing, the next chapter will help you cultivate unshakable belief in yourself and in the universe's support. Make sure to stay engaged with intentional prosperity. Let us know how you are embracing patience in your own journey, and share any breakthroughs or insights you gain along the way. Your experiences inspire us all. Chapter 4. Cultivating Unshakable Belief. What if you carried an inner certainty so strong that no setback, disappointment, or criticism could shake it? Picture walking confidently into every situation, trusting not only in the universe but in your own resilience, abilities, and path. Many wish for such unwavering belief, yet it often feels just beyond their grasp. Instead, self-doubt sneaks into quiet moments, and the commentary of past failures lingers in the mind. The world always seems ready to make people second-guess their dreams or decisions, pointing to reasons they might not succeed or belong. This lack of belief can create a recurring sense of hesitation, an undercurrent of uncertainty that whispers in crucial moments. What if I'm not enough? Or what if things never improve? Most people struggle with internal battles between confidence and insecurity. Perhaps you have experienced this in the form of delaying important decisions, second-guessing your talents, or abandoning projects before they have a chance to grow, simply because you doubt your ability to see them through. The voice of skepticism is often louder than the quiet potential within. In a world that highlights shortcomings and compares everyone endlessly, maintaining solid belief in yourself and a supportive universe can feel like an enormous challenge. Even small disappointments might start to feel like evidence you shouldn't trust your goals, or convince you that setbacks are signs you are not destined for success. Over time, layer upon layer of doubts and wounds may convince you to lower your sights, to stop reaching for something greater, or even to silence your excitement about what is possible for your life. Yet, there is a life-changing shift within reach. Cultivating unshakable belief is not wishful thinking. It is a learned practice that molds your thoughts, feelings, and actions. It starts with the choice to treat every challenge as evidence not of your unworthiness, but of your ability to grow, adapt, and triumph. Instead of revisiting the doubts and criticism that arise, you make a conscious decision to feed your faith through intention and action. The transformative solution is to deliberately focus on your proven moments of courage and capability. Recall each time you overcame struggle, adapted in the face of difficulty, or pursued a goal despite uncertainty. Every one of these memories is proof that you are more resilient and resourceful than your fears might have you believe. Unshakable belief is less about ignoring your difficulties and more about integrating your lessons and strengths over time. Imagine your belief in yourself and the universe as a foundation built from daily choices and reinforced every time you affirm your worth. practice loving self-talk, and celebrate even your smallest victories. Each time you choose to see possibility instead of limitation, you lay another brick on this powerful inner structure. The benefits quickly compound: increased confidence, greater enthusiasm, and a strengthened ability to move forward boldly, no matter what obstacles or doubts swirl around you. With a grounded, unshakable belief, you become the architect of your destiny, steady, creative, and open to all the support the universe is ready to offer. To consciously nurture unshakable belief, the first actionable step is to turn your attention inward and collect tangible evidence of your strengths and successes. Begin by writing down 3 experiences when you displayed resilience, courage, or creativity, no matter how small. You might recall times you solved a tricky problem at work, supported a friend during a crisis, or persisted through adversity until you saw improvement. Reflecting daily on these moments builds a deep well of trust in your own potential. This consistent habit helps to quiet the voice of doubt and replaces it with a narrative that is rooted in truth and lived experience. Having these reminders written in a notebook or phone means you can revisit them anytime uncertainty starts to creep in. As you compile these experiences, intentionally rewrite your inner script by celebrating progress instead of perfection. Take the example of David, who used to be overwhelmed by the thought that he had to accomplish everything right the first time. Each setback made him question his worth. When he began celebrating even the incremental wins, completing a challenging conversation, learning a new skill, or simply making productive choices on difficult days, his sense of self-worth grew. Gradually, David realized that his belief did not have to be tied only to big, dramatic achievements, but could flourish through ongoing, imperfect progress. His self-assurance increased because he was no longer waiting to arrive at success. He recognized success in his ongoing efforts and ability to grow. Another vital step is to regularly feed your mind with positive, empowering words. Commitment to daily affirmations. I believe in myself. I am worthy of good things. The universe supports my growth, strengthens the internal pathways leading to stronger confidence. Visual reminders, such as notes on your mirror or alarms with encouraging phrases, keep belief at the center of your awareness, even on the hardest days. These practice statements are powerful antidotes to self-doubt because they gradually replace old narrative loops with new, supportive truths. Pair this with seeking out inspiring stories from people who embody unshakable belief. Witnessing others overcome their doubts acts as living proof that belief can be strengthened and sustained, no matter where you start. As these practices take root, the benefits ripple into every aspect of your life. You start to approach challenges with curiosity rather than fear. Your willingness to step into new experiences expands, and setbacks become invitations to grow rather than signals to retreat. There is real freedom in knowing you have the inner strength to meet what comes. Confidence born not from pretending you have all the answers, but from knowing you can find them through persistence and faith in yourself and the universe. This week, take on a practical exercise. Each morning, read a personal affirmation aloud and recall one specific example of when you acted with bravery or integrity. Carry that feeling with you and use it as a compass whenever self-doubt or uncertainty arises. The more you reinforce your unshakable belief, the more natural it becomes to navigate your world with confidence and hope. Be prepared to take these inner shifts even further. In the next chapter, you will discover how to open your awareness to miracles all around you, a powerful step that builds on your growing trust and belief. Do not miss the opportunity to continue this inspiring journey by subscribing to Intentional Prosperity, liking the content, and sharing your personal stories or suggestions to uplift others walking this path alongside you. Chapter 5. Recognizing Miracles Around You. Have you ever stopped for a moment in your busy day and wondered if you just missed something extraordinary unfolding right before your eyes? Imagine how life would feel if you suddenly realized that miracles are constantly happening all around you, not as rare events, but as quiet, everyday occurrences that often slip by unnoticed. What if you could tune your awareness to spot them? The gentle reassurance in a stranger's smile, an unexpected solution to a nagging problem, the way help seems to appear just when you need it most. The truth is that miracles are not confined to legends or distant dreams. They are woven into the very fabric of daily living, waiting for us to see them. The challenge comes in our routines, where the pressures of work, deadlines, and errands often crowd out wonder. Many people move through life with their heads down, preoccupied by what's missing or what hasn't worked out, rarely pausing to notice the quiet good surrounding them. If you find yourself feeling numb or indifferent, easily frustrated by small inconveniences, or fixated on what's not enough, you are not alone. The constant chase for bigger and better outcomes can dull your senses, blinding you to the signs of support and grace that are ever present. Perhaps you recall days when you breezed past moments of beauty or kindness because your mind was tangled in worry or stress. Over time, this closed focus can make life feel smaller and less magical, and you begin to mistake ordinary moments for unremarkable ones. The transformative solution begins with making a gentle but powerful decision to slow down and intentionally look for miracles. This is not about sweeping gestures or hoping for dramatic interventions. Instead, it is about developing the skill to notice the details, the synchronicities, and simple joys that easily go unseen unless you consciously direct your focus. By training your attention to seek out what is beautiful, positive, or unexpected in your surroundings, you naturally shift from skepticism to gratitude, from scarcity to abundance. This is an accessible, encouraging shift. Anyone can practice pausing for a minute in the middle of a routine day to reflect on something delightful or surprising that might otherwise slip away. The core idea is that miracles do not have to be enormous or supernatural to be remarkable. The smile shared between strangers, a phone call received at just the right moment, a challenge that turns into an opportunity. These are all subtle but significant signs of support and the universe's gentle reminder that you are not alone. When you begin to recognize and appreciate these miracles, your perspective expands and your emotional world becomes more vibrant. You develop resilience and hope because you have evidence, gathered daily, that good is always finding its way to you. This simple change in perception energizes your spirit and draws even more grace and opportunity into your life, proving that the more you notice miracles, the more they appear. To start truly recognizing miracles in your own life, the first step is to set the intention every morning to pay attention to even the smallest blessings or unusual moments. Before you dive into your daily tasks, pause and promise yourself to notice the subtle wonders that cross your path. As you walk through your day, practice this awareness by gently shifting your attention whenever you feel stressed or distracted. Stop for a moment and ask yourself, what is going well for me right now? This small question can effortlessly reveal the unexpected support or beauty you may be overlooking. You might find warmth in the sun on your face, the sound of laughter nearby, or in a chance meeting with someone you needed to speak to. This conscious act of paying attention gradually retrains your mind to become a magnet for grace and delight. To deepen this habit, keep a miracle journal where you jot down moments that surprised you, uplifted you, or made life seem a little easier. For instance, think of Sarah, who felt overwhelmed by a season of loneliness and exhaustion. At first, writing in her journal felt forced, as if nothing was extraordinary in her routine. But as she continued, patterns began to emerge. She noted finding the exact book she needed in the library, receiving encouraging messages from friends on hard days, and simply witnessing acts of kindness in her community. These entries helped her see how much support and connection existed around her, even when her default mood leaned toward discouragement. Sarah's perspective shifted, slowly at first, but then noticeably, as she realized that her world was filled with reasons to believe in gentle, daily miracles. Start each entry in your miracle journal by recounting small, joyful surprises or timely solutions. As you continue, reflect on how these moments affect your mood, energy, and sense of possibility. By savoring them, you multiply their impact, and in time, this perspective begins to color every area of your life. Relationships flourish as you become more open and grateful. Challenges seem less overwhelming because you know from experience that help and encouragement regularly appear. The more you record and reflect, the more clearly you see the supportive patterns that might previously have escaped your notice. If you're ready for a practical exercise, set aside 5 minutes each night this week to write down 3 things that amazed or reassured you, no matter how trivial they might seem. Over time, you will train your mind to see and celebrate abundance over lack, hope over cynicism, and wonder over monotony. Let this journal be your growing evidence that miracles are not merely rare, but are quietly threaded through your everyday. Encouragement will come naturally when you see your own list of blessings and supports growing before your eyes. As you move forward, prepare to anchor these miracles even more deeply into your life by learning how to trust during times of uncertainty and challenge. The next chapter explores how faith can hold steady even when the path is unclear, helping you sustain the wonder you are now discovering. Stay invested in your journey by subscribing to Intentional Prosperity and share your discoveries in the comments. You might inspire others to see their own lives as miraculous too. Chapter 6. Trusting During Uncertainty. Have you ever wondered what it would feel like to stand in the middle of confusion or upheaval and still sense a calm, unbreakable current of trust flowing beneath your fears? Picture yourself in the midst of life's storms, not knowing what comes next, perhaps feeling lost or anxious, and yet, rather than crumbling, you discover a deep resilience anchoring you. What if, no matter the external chaos, you could cultivate the assurance that you'll find the light even in the darkest moments? This isn't some distant fantasy only for the exceptionally optimistic. It's a quiet strength anyone can develop, one that can alter how you experience every period of uncertainty in your life. Most people know the chokehold uncertainty can have. Times of change, transition, or loss stir up anxiety about the unknown. Questions pile up. What if things don't work out? How long will this last? What happens if I choose wrong? Uncertainty by its nature strips away our usual sense of safety and triggers that deep human urge to control outcomes or escape discomfort. Maybe you feel it as sleepless worry in the face of a job change, the tension of a relationship in transition, or the silent ache of waiting for health answers. Often, in these moments of not knowing, imaginations race toward the worst-case scenario, and the present moment becomes a blur, eclipsed by hypothetical futures that sap your energy and hope. It's easy to feel alone in these times, as if the solid ground has vanished beneath you, leaving you stranded in anxious limbo. But there is a solution, one as steady as it is transformative. Choosing to trust during uncertainty does not mean denying your fear or pretending discomfort doesn't exist. Rather, it's about accepting that uncertainty is a natural part of living and that it always carries invitations for growth, wisdom, and sometimes unexpected blessings. When you intentionally shift your focus from trying to control the uncontrollable to nurturing faith in your personal resilience and in the support the universe offers, everything changes. You stop demanding guarantees and start believing that, even amidst confusion, some answers will reveal themselves in time, and solutions or opportunities may emerge you hadn't dared to imagine. The core of this approach lies in focusing on your ability to meet whatever comes, rather than exhausting yourself fighting shadows of what might never happen. This mindset gives you room to breathe, to rest in the moment, and to see beauty in clues even when the full path ahead is hidden. It encourages you to ask, how can I grow from this, rather than how can I escape this? In doing so, uncertainty transforms from an adversary into a patient teacher. When you begin to trust yourself in the unknown, adversity turns from merely an ordeal into the opening of new qualities within you: flexibility, inner strength, and the peace of knowing that you are always guided, even if you do not yet understand the direction. By seeing uncertainty this way and responding with trust instead of resistance, you lay the foundation for a life that is steadier, braver, and endlessly open to possibility. To build trust during uncertain times, begin by cultivating self-awareness each time doubt or fear creeps in. Instead of becoming tangled in unanswerable questions about the future, pause and gently acknowledge your feelings. Take a deep breath and check in with yourself, placing a hand over your heart as you silently observe. This is a moment of uncertainty, and it is natural to feel uneasy. This compassionate pause interrupts panic, eases the grip of anxiety, and reminds you that you are not wrong or weak simply because you feel unsettled. Practicing this awareness consistently helps make space between what you are experiencing and how you choose to respond, paving the way for curiosity and perspective instead of spiraling worry. The next crucial step is to anchor yourself in the present moment. When your mind races toward future worries, bring it back to the here and now by asking, "What can I influence or take care of right now?" Focus on small actions, like making a healthy meal, reaching out to a supportive friend, or simply going for a nature walk, that ground you in reality and foster a sense of agency. Take the example of James, who faced intense job insecurity after a company downsizing. Every evening, he would catch himself obsessing over 100 possible outcomes. Eventually, he shifted his attention from these unsolvable puzzles to daily rituals such as exercise, reading, and writing in a gratitude journal. These actions were within his power and helped him rediscover hope, even while uncertainty persisted. This renewed presence created the emotional stability he needed, and ultimately, when an unexpected but ideal opportunity appeared, he was strong and ready to seize it. Equally important, practice self-reminders that you have survived challenging times before. Write out situations from your past where you navigated unknowns, big or small, and review these stories whenever your trust wavers. Maria, for instance, journaled specific memories in which she found a way forward during previous transitions, whether it was moving to a new city or facing a health scare. By regularly rereading her own evidence of resilience, she built a quiet confidence, discovering patterns of growth and support she had never acknowledged before. This new narrative empowered Maria to step through an uncertain period with optimism rather than dread. The benefits of these actions are profound. As you reconnect with your strengths and ground yourself in the present, uncertainty begins to lose its power over your spirit. You cultivate adaptability, meet life with greater acceptance, and discover hints of guidance tucked even within chaos. The transformation doesn't mean you are untouched by worry, but that fear no longer drives your every action. Instead, you trust yourself and the unfolding process, finding comfort in the unknown. Tonight, take a few minutes to write a letter to your future self who has come through the uncertainty you are facing. Offer encouragement, list the strengths you will draw on, and remind yourself of your commitment to choose trust, one day at a time. Let this exercise serve as both a promise and a source of comfort on challenging days. Each step you take deepens your trust, preparing you for whatever life brings next. Next, you will explore how to deepen your connection with the universe, not just in solitude, but in partnership with the life force that supports you always. Keep this empowering momentum alive by subscribing to Intentional Prosperity and sharing your stories or insights in the comments to encourage your fellow travelers. Chapter 7. Deepening Connection with the Universe. Imagine for a moment what your life would be like if you felt every single day intimately connected to something greater than yourself, a benevolent force that supports, guides, and inspires you wherever you go. What would it feel like to move through challenges not with isolation or anxiety, but with the unshakable sense that you are always held, seen, and supported by the universe itself? This isn't just the realm of poets or mystics. It's a possibility that can enrich the life of anyone who is willing to open their heart and practice this connection with intentionality and trust. For many people, the feeling of separation or disconnection from the universe is painfully familiar. Life's demands, the rush of to-do lists, the noise of the news, and the pressure to keep up, can drown out any sense of a higher connection. In the midst of careers, relationships, and responsibilities, it's easy to forget to seek support beyond the physical and visible. You may recognize times when your days felt mechanical, as if you were rushing from task to task without a sense of meaning or larger guidance. In those difficult periods, you may have wondered whether the universe even notices your struggles, or whether there's any point in reaching out for help you cannot see. The yearning for connection is there, but its presence seems elusive, fading whenever life becomes overwhelming or uncertain. The transformative solution to this sense of isolation begins with a simple, accessible decision. Choose to cultivate a conscious relationship with the universe. This means shifting from a mindset of seeing yourself as an isolated actor to one of recognizing that all of life is interconnected, and that you are both a part of this grand tapestry and a unique recipient of its guidance. You do not have to rely solely on your own power or answers. You can lean on an infinite source of inspiration, wisdom, and love. This is not wishful thinking or a retreat from reality, but the decision to live with openness, intention, and regular practices that foster connection to something larger than your immediate circumstances. Deepening your relationship with the universe encourages you to move with greater ease and flow in your daily experiences. You begin to notice signs, synchronicities, and nudges that point you toward resilience, insight, and opportunities, even in unexpected ways. Instead of struggling to make everything happen by willpower alone, you learn to collaborate, opening to inspiration, seeking quiet time for reflection, and trusting those mysterious moments of intuition as guidance rather than coincidence. The core idea is that when you invite the universe to be an active participant in your journey, you immediately expand your sense of possibility. The benefits are both subtle and profound: increased calm, heightened creativity, more joyful surprises, and the awareness that there is always support available, even if it comes in forms you do not always anticipate. By fostering this connection, you step into a life marked not by reckless independence or helpless passivity, but by the rich dance of trust, dialogue, and partnership with the energy that animates everything. You can deepen your connection with the universe through intentional habits and simple, heartfelt shifts in the way you approach your days. Begin by setting aside a few minutes each morning for quiet reflection or meditation, inviting an open dialogue with the universe. Use this time to state aloud or within yourself any hopes, questions, or intentions, and then sit in silence, willing to receive insights or simply hold space for what comes. This daily practice grounds your energy, makes you more receptive to subtle guidance, and signals your willingness to collaborate with forces seen and unseen. If your mind wanders to distractions or doubts, just notice them gently and bring your attention back to your breath or a gentle affirmation such as, "I am open to wisdom and support from the universe today." As you move through your day, actively look for synchronicities or meaningful coincidences. These may come in the form of unexpected encounters, repeating number patterns, lyrics of a song that echo your thoughts, or solutions that seem to arrive out of nowhere. Each time you observe something that feels uncanny or supportive, pause to say thank you, acknowledging these as loving reminders that you are supported and connected. Emily, for example, kept finding herself thinking of a certain friend each morning, only for that friend to call later in the day with a needed piece of advice. Instead of brushing these moments aside as coincidence, Emily began taking a moment to express gratitude and record her experiences. Soon, she felt less alone and more attuned to the many ways guidance and reassurance could flow. Keeping an ongoing gratitude list specifically focused on signs of connection can be transformative. At the end of each day, jot down 3 ways the universe seemed to show up for you. These may range from clear signs, like an answered prayer, to simple comforts, a comforting breeze when you needed calm, or words on a billboard that answered an internal question. Over the course of just a few weeks, you will likely find this new level of attentiveness builds both faith and enthusiasm. You will see more beauty, relish the subtle play of guidance, and move through life feeling watched over and accompanied. The benefits of these steps quickly ripple outwards. You'll find greater inner peace, increased self-confidence, and a renewed sense of enthusiasm about the path ahead, even when things are uncertain. Your creativity may blossom as insights and solutions start coming from unexpected places. Most of all, you begin experiencing life with the assurance that you are part of an intricate web of love and meaning that exists far beyond your individual efforts. Embrace a simple challenge today. At some point, pause and ask the universe a question about your life, a decision, or simply for a sign of support, and then spend the next 24 hours open to how the answer might whisper itself into your awareness. Trust the process and celebrate any insight or reassurance that appears, no matter how subtle. Carry this sense of connection, deepening it day by day as an ongoing practice rather than a one-time event. The journey continues as you learn how living in trust and partnership with the universe unlocks greater flow and abundance. Be sure to subscribe to Intentional Prosperity, share the ways you witnessed connection today in the comments, and let your voice add to this expanding circle of encouragement and shared wisdom. Chapter 8. Living in Flow and Abundance. What if today you discovered that life does not have to be a struggle for scraps, but a graceful dance with opportunity, creativity, and prosperity at every turn? Imagine waking up with a sense that the universe is generous and stacked in your favor, that resources, love, and inspiration are available in endless supply, just waiting for you to receive them. Picture going about your day in a state of flow, where possibilities emerge naturally and things fall into place, not because you forced them, but because you allowed and trusted the process. This is not just a fantasy for the lucky few. It can be your daily experience when you shift your mindset to one of living in flow and abundance. Yet, the reality for many people is quite different. Struggle, scarcity, and overwhelm often shape their routines and self-perception. There's a relentless belief in not enough time, not enough energy, not enough money, or even not enough to feel worthy. Perhaps you recognize the pressure of hustling for basic security, or the underlying suspicion that happiness or success must be hard-earned and fleeting. This way of living can become so habitual that it blinds us to the abundance already present in our lives. When you are locked in survival mode or constantly comparing your journey to others, you miss the subtle opportunities, blessings, and synchronicities the universe places in your path. Scarcity eats away at self-confidence and drains the spirit of joy and possibility, making genuine fulfillment seem out of reach. The transformative solution is a radical change in perspective. To consciously adopt an abundance mindset and cultivate the art of being in flow with the universe. Living in flow and abundance is the result of trusting that life can provide, even when your fears say otherwise, and of training your awareness to spot opportunity and grace in both the ordinary and the unexpected. This mindset does not mean you'll never meet challenges. Rather, it's an inner orientation that helps you respond creatively and optimistically, so you can seize each opening instead of shutting down at the first obstacle. This is accessible to everyone, regardless of circumstance, because it begins not with resources or luck, but with your willingness to see, feel, and claim what is already possible. The essence of this approach is believing that life wishes to cooperate with you, sending signals, resources, and helpers your way as you pursue your dreams. When you choose to look for what is flowing, what is working, and what is arriving with ease, even if it's small, you invite more of the same into your orbit. Over time, this focus transforms not only your experiences, but the way you see yourself and your place in the world. Instead of feeling like a solitary competitor fighting for crumbs, you experience yourself as an empowered participant in a universe brimming with gifts and growth. Adopting this perspective infuses everyday moments with more gratitude, openness, and energy, allowing you to navigate the dance of life with ease and resilience, no matter the circumstances. To live in flow and abundance, start with the truly foundational act of recognizing and celebrating what's already present in your life. Carve out a quiet moment each morning or evening to name 3 things that have arrived in your experience with ease: a caring word, a bit of unexpected free time, a helpful coincidence, or simple daily comforts like a warm meal or restful sleep. As you focus your attention on what is flowing rather than what is blocked, your mind gradually adjusts to scanning for goodness and possibility. Like Jason, who struggled for years with the fear that nothing he did was enough, you may notice subtle shifts within weeks. Once he established his daily abundance ritual, Jason became more motivated, kinder to himself, and less driven by scarcity-fueled comparison. Opportunities he used to overlook, networking invitations, creative ideas, and unexpected support, began to feel not rare, but almost natural. The next step is to practice openness to receiving, which means noticing any resistance you have to accepting help, compliments, or unexpected good fortune. Too often, self-doubt or old habits prompt automatic deflection. You brush off praise, turn away offers of assistance, or tell yourself that ease must be undeserved. Challenge these patterns, if only in small ways. Take Mia, for example, who once believed she had to prove herself before receiving joy. When she started saying a simple thank you and sincerely accepting support, she found her confidence and sense of belonging expanding. This willingness to receive in little things paved the way for even bigger abundance. Her new openness helped her recognize and pursue career opportunities and deepen personal relationships. To anchor this abundance mindset, regularly immerse yourself in gratitude for not just the outcomes, but the process and flow of life itself. At midday or before bed, pause to acknowledge the opportunities, kindnesses, and creative sparks you encountered, however modest. Write them down, speak them aloud, or quietly savor them. This habitual gratitude activates a positive feedback loop, drawing more easeful experiences and even wider horizons into your awareness. Gradually, you'll begin to trust life's cycles of giving and receiving, noticing that every tiny instance of support is part of a larger story filled with possibility. As you apply these principles, the benefits grow. You feel lighter and more hopeful even in challenge. Resourcefulness and intuition increase. You become resilient in setbacks because you no longer see every closed door as permanent or every struggle as a sign of lack. Instead, you understand that the universe contains infinite routes to fulfillment, many of which reveal themselves only once you let go, stay open, and keep gratitude as your companion. Tonight, take a moment for this practical exercise. Reflect on your day and write down 3 instances, no matter how small, in which something worked out gracefully or arrived unexpectedly on time. Hold those memories close and repeat to yourself, I am open to more flow and abundance, and I trust life is providing for me. Over time, allow those words to become your foundation. Carry this attitude forward, knowing that the dance with flow and abundance is ongoing, inviting more generosity, ease, and joy. Remember that every day spent tuning into abundance shapes your world from the inside out. Your journey matters, and by living this way, you not only enrich your own experience, but also become a source of encouragement for those around you, quietly proving that thriving is possible for everyone. As you reach the end of this journey, remember that trusting in the universe is not a single leap, but a daily practice, one that brings gratitude, resilience, and miracles into your life in meaningful ways. Each chapter has offered steps to build authentic trust, release fear, align with divine timing, strengthen personal belief, and recognize everyday miracles. Together, we've explored how to thrive during uncertainty, deepen your connection with the universe, and welcome more flow and abundance into every area of your life. Thank you for investing your time and energy into this transformative experience. Your commitment to personal growth and openness to trust is both courageous and inspiring. If these insights have uplifted you, please like this video, share your own stories and reflections in the comments, and remember to subscribe to the Intentional Prosperity channel so we can continue growing and thriving together.